So hello and welcome back to the Gorilla Biker, and today what we're going to be doing is fitting these lovely saddlebags to the Honda Rebel 500 we have here. This is a 2022 Honda Rebel 500. These bags also will fit the Rebel 300. They're Nelson-Rigg NR 400 bags. Right now on Nelson-Rigg's website they cost $265, thereabouts. And they did send them to me for the purpose of this video, so complete open disclosure at the start. This is only an install video, it's not a review, so hang around to watch the install, because obviously that can't really be influenced by Nelson-Rigg if you're concerned about that. But yeah, just to clarify, these do fit by their own card here that comes with it. The Rebel 500 and 300, 2017 to current. There's also a heap of other bikes on here. What I'll do is I'll take a photo of it and I can put it up on screen right now. But before we get into any more of the video, I just want to run you through, I suppose, key features of this. So the bags themselves, which you'll get a zoomed in version in a sec, don't worry, have these bars on the back of them. And that bar clips into a little kind of a retention mount that you have to mount to the bike yourself on these two here and here. Now you'll notice that I do have an aftermarket rear rack on this bike from Cobra USA. That will not affect the mounting. You'll just have to use a different bolt size than comes with the kit, but I'll go through that in a second as well, so you know what to order if you're going to do this. Okay, but just to show you, and this is just a confirmation of the name here, the Road Trip Saddlebag NR 400. Honestly, these are really cool, and I did reach out to Nelson-Rigg to see would they be interested in sending these to me, because I found them online and really liked the look of them. And you know, we wanted something that could come on and off, because it's not going to be like my V-Strom where those hard mounted bags just kind of stay there all the time. This is also just going to be like a day tripper bike with the option for when we want to do road trips, mounting them up there like that. And just again to reiterate, these bags fit on quite a few bikes, so, which is cool. But basically all we're going to be mounting is these guys here, and then basically that bar on the back clips in here, so that's going to be going into the hole basically and mounted here like that. We'll do like here's one I prepared earlier, so I already tested these. This is just not the side of the bike I'll be working on for the purposes of this video. But basically, these are all the kind of sizes of spacers and bolts that can come with the kit, other than this one here and this one here. These we'll take out for a sec, because they're actually separate. This one came with the Cobra USA rack, and this one is one I bought for this video. So all of these sizes here, except this one, which is the stock size, come with the kit. So these four sizes come with the kit. This is an M8 by 125, so I think that's a standard thread M8, which is listed right here. All right, that's the original bolt that just bolts onto nothing on the Rebel, and that's 20 millimeters long. This is what came with the Cobra USA rear rack, and that's 25 millimeters long to account for this guy here. This is also a 25, as you can see. And this came with this kit. So if theoretically you were not mounting up anything else, you would use this one right here, I do believe. Yes, they suggest using the 25mm and the 6mm spacer, which is this guy here. So that's what you would end up with, right? Now the reason you might say, oh, well, why are we actually technically taking away length, is because on the back side of these bolts, okay, they will actually come all the way through, and theoretically, if you put in a bolt that was way too long and you compress your suspension, your bolt could hit your tire. So you know, you're not going to use something like this long, because you're going to be all the way in there. So I'll just put a clip up now of where you check for protrusion, but basically if you just put your finger back here and touch it, but yeah, you'll see it on screen. You'll see it on screen now of where that bolt could theoretically come out, and you just don't want that being a possibility of hitting your tire. So if, for the intents of this, you're just fitting these guys with no other aftermarket pieces or whatever else, on the Rebel, you're not going to use these. It's nice that we have extra spare hardware. This is basically all you will need for the purposes of this video. You'll need a 6mm Allen to take out the stock bolts, and you'll need a 5. I'm pretty sure these are a 5. Yeah, it's a 5. And yeah, you'll need a 5 to actually put this new bolt that comes with the kit in and the spacer. When I came back to torque all these, I realized I'm silly, so I forgot the washer that of course you need. So I have been putting all of those back in, but just to show you, if you were doing this again with the stock bike, it's not just the washer. The washer goes on the inside of the bracket, and then the outside of the bracket, you would have, ooh, this is hard to do on a phone, like that. So you'd have, imagine this is the mounting bracket. So you have bolt and washer, spacer into the bike. All right, so don't forget the washer like I did, and then you have to redo all the work. So that's pretty much it. Now the only thing is, if you do have an aftermarket rack or whatever else, all I did is I'm putting on an M8 by 125 that is 30 mil long. So M8 by 125 by 30. That's the technical way. If you were Googling this, you would Google M8 by 125 by 30, and that's what you would use. And as you can see, it's just a little bit longer to account for the fact that we have on this rack a spacer, the thickness of the rack itself, and then the hanger also. So, you know, you just have to kind of account for all this extra meat you've added on here between the actual bolt itself and the mounting point. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover. Is normally this is all you need. Literally 2 Allen keys, the M8 by 120 by 1.25 by 25, a 6mm spacer, and your actual bag hangers, which are a really nice style. I like them. Anyway, hopefully that wasn't over explained. We'll jump back to actually fitting them now. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, these are actually the same. These are 5mm bolts as well. So we're going to whip one of these out. Now, normally you wouldn't have to catch the spacer like I'm doing here, because again, this is not the stock mounting. So there's that bolt out. Now what we're going to do is grab this hanger. Everything else that I'm doing is the same for you. You literally just have a slightly different bolt if you're using the stock one. You'll also use that 6mm spacer that was mentioned. So then this is our new bolt. Now, again, for you here, if this was just a stock bike, you'd be going spacer, hanger, bolt. And I would imagine the purposes of that is just to keep the hanger off the frame a little bit, to keep the bags spaced out a little bit. So we're not going to tighten that all the way up yet, because you have to make sure that the bag actually mounts on here. We're just going to do the other one. Now I will say, on the stock bolts on the Rebel, they were a lot tighter than I have these ones, because I fitted these myself afterwards, and I did have to clean out the threads. I'll pop in a bit of that short that I did for fitting this Cobra rear rack, just so you can get a sense of that. But I did actually use a tap to kind of chase out all these threads, so that's something you may have to do as well, so just be prepared for that. So not really sure why this happened, but I am having to clean out all these threads because the new bolts won't go back in. They are M8 by 1.25, I've verified that, but it's just yeah, the new bolts just did not want to go in. So we're cleaning them up. They're cleaning up fine. There's nothing crazy catching or anything, but yeah, I don't know why they kind of sucked. And that's them mounted up. So again, nothing is fully tight here yet, because we don't need to tighten it yet. And now we can actually get the bags and try put them over here. But that's literally all it is. It's really easy. You actually can't see that lower piece there. There you go. So now what I'll do is I'll mount the actual bags over. And we can tighten everything up. So the bags themselves obviously do have this Velcro strap here. What I'm going to do, which is very strong, is I'm going to remove that for a sec, and I'm just going to pop on the actual bag onto the hangers. So the bag is now on the hangers. You can see there that bar just sits into those little clamps. And now what I'm going to do, since that's on there, kind of holding everything straight, so I'm going to tighten up my bolts here. I'm going to put down the phone so I can do this. So those two bolts are tightened up. I can't remember the Newton meters that these bolts are supposed to be tightened to, but I'll put it on screen now and I'll torque them later. Right now I just have them all hand tight for the purposes of getting this lined up. So now what we're going to do is lay that across there, and we're going to mount up this bag, and then we're going to strap them together and see how it looks. Alrighty, that's it strapped up. I think that looks great. I mean, technically speaking, you could also strap these under the rack, I don't know, do I have space with this one? So it kind of has to go over it, which is no big deal. I'm not losing out on any tie downs or anything. I can still lay a bag onto the rear rack. The one thing you want to do here is just make sure this bar here has enough clearance between the actual shock. So you can just push that back. I would make sure that you go on this side of the clamp. So to show you what I mean, this bar here that runs through the back, you could put this clamp on this side of this brace here, but if you did that, then you're going to be forced more forward towards the actual shock. So I would recommend putting this clamp on, between this brace and the end cap like this, and then pull it, push it back as far as you can, just to stop it hitting that shock. Because obviously there's nothing back here it's going to interfere with. But yeah, you don't want it hitting the shock. Okay, well, as you can see under here, we're actually under the bag right now, just in case you can't tell, and these here are straps. Those straps run through the very bottom loop of the clamps, and that's just to kind of hold everything nicely in place. So now that the bags are actually fully mounted, they're very, very solid actually. This one, not as much, so I probably need to tighten up my top strap a little more, but I can do that, not a big deal. I mean, it's still not moving left and right, as you can see. It's just if you actually, which that's probably unavoidable, you know what I mean? Once they're weighted down, it's not going to do anything. Now, let's look inside, just to show you. So, oh yeah, you do also get a rain cover with these. And warning labels, but yeah, the rain cover is nice. So these are not waterproof as standard, but there's a nice little pocket here that we can go into. Plenty of space in these, and then there's also an outside pocket. So yeah, other things then is these do actually have a little clip on them, just to show you, which I thought was cool. You can basically snap those together and then put a lock in there, so it can't be opened easily. Now, if someone wants to get into anything, we know that they're going to, thieves are scumbags. So if they really want to get in, they can. You have little straps in there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's little elasticated straps to hold things in place. Like overall, I'm really, really happy with these. I probably would leave all the zips towards the back, just in case you end up riding into rain. But yeah, other than that, I mean, these are really nice. Very impressed. These kind of zip aways to release the bag here do have nice little clips on them. Hopefully you can see the little clip. Good and strong. I don't know if this one actually clipped in over here. Overall, I mean, the mounting and everything on these is super solid. So that's it. Overall, I think a very easy install. Some other things you might have noticed, Nelson-Rigg did send me this really nice hat. They also sent me a nice t-shirt, both of which are covered in sweat now because it's North Carolina and it's summer. But yeah, really, really appreciate that. Really appreciate Kyle, who was the one who replied to me and sent these out to me. I was originally interested in these when I saw them because I think, value for money, they're really, really good. I mean, the mounting kit is actually impressive. It's going to do what it's supposed to do. A lot of these things are over-engineered. These are just soft bags for quick trip. The only thing, obviously, that some people probably would like is the fact these are not waterproof. But it's the same as putting on a rain coat, You're going to have to pull over for a rain jacket too. And I will say they're very quick to kind of cover them over. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not. You might still get a little bit of rain in there with the rain cover, but it's definitely preferable to spending some of the kind of huge amounts of money that you have to spend on certain other bags out there. There was other ones I was looking at, but I think Nelson-Rigg, I had picked these anyway, and then I just reached out to them and they very kindly sent them out to me. So big thank you to Kyle and Nelson-Rigg for trusting me with these. If you're looking for a pair of soft bags for your Rebel 500, just to basically give yourself that little bit of flexibility around how much you can carry and when you want to carry it, I would do that. Like, we'll pop these off right now just to show you how quick it is. There's them. Straps, release that, and pop that out. You can't really ask for much easier. Are these the most beautiful things to be left on there all the time? No, but I think in the grand scheme of things, the amount of flexibility and actual usefulness I get from these, absolutely 100% worth it. So yeah, I think overall, I think these are very cool. very easy to fit. Like I said, value for money I think is very good. Would I, if these disappeared tomorrow and someone stole all the mounts, would I buy this kit again? Absolutely. Outro crew, have you ever used Nelson-Rigg or any other bag manufacturers? Let me know what your favourite is, and let me know if you've used Nelson-Rigg. Do you rate them and like them? Bye, outro crew.